Hey guys, a while back I got a package that I still haven't opened yet. It is a package containing 4 chromium cubes, and they're actually mass-produced 24 cubes, so I'm very eager to open this. Here we go. So I've opened this package a while back to check out what was inside, but I didn't really have a good look at the parts, so I'm kind of improvising right now, and I don't know what the puzzles are going to look like. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, they're DIY kits. Alright, so let me move this out of the way. I've got multiple stands right there, and I've got all the parts to make 4 puzzles. I bought 4 of them. They're all 24 cubes. Alright, and potentially, for the future, there's going to be 48 cubes as well, apparently. So that's nice. Okay, that's a lot of parts. That's going to be a long assembly. And I've got some, oh, they're actually in the same package as the stickers. I've got some beads right there. Ball bearings, basically. And springs, I guess, for the balls in order to guarantee alignment. I've got tiny magnets as well, screws, this tiny, I don't even know how you call it in English. If someone could give me the name of that tool right there, the L key thing. And instruction manual. Nope, that's just solving stuff. And so yeah, this is for now. I've got super stickers as well as regular stickers, so that's something that's pretty cool. That's just gonna give me the opportunity to make variants of this puzzle since I've got 4 of them. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have 2 24 cubes and 2 super 24 cubes. So I'm gonna check out those parts off camera in order to make a better quality video, and I will get back to you when I've tried assembling the first part, and that way I can show you how to do it properly. Okay, so I've assembled one of the parts already, and this is what the 24 cube main piece or outer visible piece looks like. So I'm going to show you how to assemble this. Now the good thing is, this part right there that goes right here is already fully assembled. This puzzle works with rails, so it's already fully assembled right there, and the smaller part here also fits right there. So there are small edges and larger edges. Now, just to give you an idea, I've got a shallower cut helicopter cube. Those large edges correspond to those parts here, and those smaller edges correspond to these tiny triangular parts here, except since it's deeper cut, they are much bigger. And so yeah, this is the small edge, big edge, and this is the corner. Now I'm going to show you how to assemble the corner, and then you'll be able to assemble them all and finish the assembly. So first, corners. Now, they're split into multiple parts. Now this is the bottom part. This is the part with the screw head, or at least the slot for the screw head. Now there's another intermediate part, this one. It doesn't have anything on it, so you just have to push it in right there. And you've got these pins sticking out still. And the last part is the one that has these 3 tiny pins right there. They're closer together, and you just assemble it on top of that. And once this is complete, all you have to do is take one of the larger 24 cube edges, I'm just going to call them edges, and fit it where it should go. So here you have the slots for the pins, and just push them in. Now once that is done, you take the 24 cube cap right there, push it in, alright, and you take a screw and you screw it in right there like this. Alright. And when that is done, you have to do it 24 times total per puzzle. So it's, for now it's easy. I have no doubt that it's going to be harder after that. Because you know you have to install those bearings, and you have to install those magnets maybe. So we'll see. This is the first step. So that's what I'm gonna do first. And did I miss anything? No, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. So so this is how you assemble this this part, and that's the only part you need to assemble. I think later on it's going to be more difficult because you're going to have to assemble it with the rest along with those ball bearings. Now let me see if I see. Okay, of course of course. Now you can see here there's the slot for the ball bearing. So let me see if I can open and show you how the assembly is going to take place later on. Now that's just a detail. I'm going to take one of those tiny balls out, one of those springs right there. Okay, I got one. They're kind of hard to split apart from the rest. Now, okay, I even got a second one. Now you just have to put the spring inside the hole. Let me see if I can show you up close. Put the ball on the spring, and that's where the challenging part happens. You have to push it in while you assemble your edge piece right there. I think it seems like it doesn't fit inside the hole, so maybe I'm wrong. That is strange indeed. It should fit inside. Oh yeah, it does fit inside. Okay, perfect. You have to push it in slightly. It's been dimensioned so that it doesn't pop out of the part, which is really nice, I think. That means it's a great design. So you just have to push it in until it fits, and then it's not going to move out. So that's actually much easier for the assembly. Let me see if I can show you that again. This is brilliant. That means assembling is going to be so easy. I thought it was going to be worse because some people said it was hard to assemble, but or maybe it's just because I'm used to assembling custom puzzles and stuff like that. But you just have to push them in, and there they are. So later on, I will add those rails, and they will clip into place. So that's perfect. I guess that's for the alignment issues. So yeah, awesome. So this is how you assemble the corner. I'm gonna finish the assembly of one corner by adding the final ball bearing, and then I will either speed up. I think I'm just gonna cut the video and fast forward to the other phase, which is the assembly phase. So once you've created all the parts and completely pushed those balls in, then you can move on to the rest. So yeah, this is how you assemble this part, this outer part of the 24 cube. So I'm gonna skip through the rest and see you right after. Okay, so I've laid out the parts. I just want to share some thoughts. Now, I think this puzzle has multiple mistakes, design mistakes. So first of all, on the corners, there's some sort of air gap. I don't know if you can see it, but basically they weren't exactly designed perfectly. So the result is a corner that's probably going to stick out a little bit because the cap doesn't go all the way in. That's just a molding error. This was the first prototype, so it's probably normal, and I think they already fixed it in the newest version. Second mistake, there are two parts, well, two sets of parts. The three white bits right there that you can see for the ball bearings, and the outer part. Now the thing is, the self-tapping screw actually taps into both parts. So at some point you can see that there's like this small gap right there between two parts, and therefore some of the balls, some of the ball bearings, they're just not as sturdily kept inside the parts, and I've had some pops during assembly. Hopefully this won't happen during turning, but I wouldn't be surprised if after a few hundred moves with the ball pushing against the plastic, some might pop off, and that would be a shame. So that was just the design aspect of it. But there is something positive. I noticed something. These weren't actually magnets. They were gravity pins. I don't know if you know what that is. I think it's a brilliant idea to add them. You see here there's like this hole, the second hole, and actually once you've assembled the edge like that, you can put the gravity pin inside, and that way it's not going to be able to misalign. And therefore when you put another piece on top, then it's going to be able to turn, but when you reverse it, it's going to turn with this edge right there. When you reverse it again with gravity, the edge is actually going to be, the edge is actually going to be solidary to the bottom piece. And therefore that means that when you want to turn the puzzle, and that way, you know, there's like no misalignments whatsoever, you just have to put it horizontally and turn it horizontally, and that's it. So therefore that fixes the alignment problem, and I think it's a relatively good solution to the misalignment problems that you can find on 24 cubes. So I'm gonna assemble it with all the gravity pins, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I'm gonna start by making sets of 4 of these edges. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what I'm doing right there. Alright, so this is basically a face. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make faces, 24 cube faces, like that. So let's start. So you need the smaller edges. They go on the small side of this this part. The larger edges go in the back because that's where they belong, right there. So you're gonna use the smaller edges right now on those two parts right there, and then put a gravity pin inside and assemble the other edge, the one that goes next to it, like this. And the gravity pin's right there, hidden between the two parts. Now, same on this side. You know what, I'm gonna take all the gravity pins out. There's plenty of extra parts, spare parts, so that's a good thing. Alright, so that's the second one. It doesn't feel that sturdy when you play with it. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I hope it's gonna be fine. Now here comes the subtle part of assembling this puzzle. If I assemble it like that over the gravity pin, you'll notice that there's one part where I didn't assemble anything. Now I'm just gonna need to open it like that, put an edge in, a gravity pin as well, and then close it up. But just got a misalignment here, right there. So I got the gravity pin inside, and here it is, closed. So this is the first face of the 24 cube. This is what it's gonna look like. Now I gotta do this 6 times, so I'm gonna do this off camera. You saw me assemble one. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do a second one on camera so that you can see again how to assemble it. So this here, gravity pin here, this edge here, well, this part. Then same thing on that side, one edge, one gravity pin, and another edge, well, another big outer part over it. Then one more edge here, a gravity pin right in there, another edge here. Now I move this whole section out of the way, put another edge in, another gravity pin, and move it back here. So this whole thing is assembled. This is another face. So I'm going to do all 6 and get back right. Small interruption for something I figured out along the way. You'll notice how usually there are different parts, like for example this larger edge piece and this smaller one. Now if you put only smaller ones, then that would allow jumbling, but if you don't and you put those larger ones and assemble it like that, it actually isn't gonna jumble, or at least you're gonna get misalignments or something, I don't know. But the thing is, if you wanted a fully jumbling puzzle, you would need to put only small rails in there. So yeah, that's just a detail. So you would need to buy 2 kits if you want to do that. I think I might try this with my other kits as well. Okay, so the good thing is there are plenty of replacement parts. I mean, there's one extra of these smaller edges that I used for the assembly of the faces. There's one extra part of the 24 by 24, which is really nice. I'm gonna put that one away. There are plenty of extra screws, plenty of extra gravity pins, so it's really nice that they did that. Then again, it does save them from doing any kind of customer service later on, which is good. Now, something I noticed, not all the rails are even, so it's not necessarily a good thing, and some of the tensions are well, not so tight, but they are tighter than the ball bearings impact, which means the ball bearings are basically useless in some cases. Again, this is a prototype, so this is not the latest version. This is just the one that I got when it was first sold, so don't think that this is representative of the quality you're gonna get if you get one of those later on. I know that James has been working a lot on getting those puzzles available, and he's really making sure that they're high quality. So now let's move on. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put the gravity pins away because I'm gonna use some more. Now for the assembly of the final assembly at least, first you gotta assemble these larger edges. As you can see, very tight in this case. So this is going to be difficult to turn. I hope it won't be too much of a problem. So, first one. Okay, wow, that's a lot of tension. I'm gonna see if maybe there's an extra edge like that, because I think it's the tolerances on the injection of this edge that are the problem. Okay, that one's slightly better, but I'm not even sure that it is. So hopefully that'll be okay. Otherwise, I will be disappointed. Yeah, it's not that great. I gotta be honest with you, it's not that great. Okay, nevertheless, I'm gonna carry on and try to assemble the whole thing. Maybe it was only in that part of the puzzle because I'm feeling that this edge is already much smoother. So, now let's take care of that one, the larger one here. I just got a push pin out of the way. That was the one right here. I think this is going to be more, well, at least harder to assemble than what I thought. Okay, so I need a large edge right there. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the other section. That way, I have no issues with other, adjacent push pins. Sorry, gravity pins. So, I'm gonna put that one in right here. Alright. Put a gravity pin in there. This is where it gets challenging. Okay, so I've got the first half of the 24 cube, and by the way, this looks insanely cool. Just looking at it like that, it's just really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna put another face in. I probably shouldn't have done it face by face, although I think it's still gonna work. Let's just put the first part of the face in like that. So, whoop, gravity pin right here, and the first half right here. Okay, I've got it in. Now, I'm gonna move it like that in order to put another edge in there, just like that. Put a gravity pin inside the hole. Now it's getting kind of harder to access now, and I've got 2/3 of the cube, and it's only gonna get harder from here. So you can hear this shaking. There's like this this metallic sound, and those are the pins inside. So it's necessary for the alignment, so I can't say much about that. Now, this one seems harder to access than these two edges here, so I'm going to start with that one by moving this away. And I'm also going to have to turn it in that direction. Whoa, this is going to be harder than I thought. That way I can push this piece in through there. Okay, so now I need to push this whole section through there. This is gonna be, oh, this is way easier than I thought. Okay, and now I need to add those two edges because I didn't put them in yet. So I'm shaking it just to make sure that the gravity pins are down there. And now I'm gonna put an edge in that way. Whoa, this is challenging. I mean, the end is gonna be insanely challenging. Okay, I need to push, well, to put these little pins right there inside the holes here. It's very hard to access. So yeah, this is really a challenge when you're assembling this puzzle. Now I need to do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna show you that again. Okay. Alright, just here so I can see the ball bearing here. Gonna put that edge in here and add another gravity pin. These are hard to put in. I'm just tipping it inside the hole like that with my finger. So, just so it can slide in by itself. And the last face, that is gonna be more challenging. And I think there is an easier way. Well, there's just one way to go about this, and it shouldn't have been assembled in that order. So I'm gonna take those two edges right here back in my hand, and I'm gonna assemble this half first, the other half, and then do the final assembly, which should have been done slightly differently. I'll explain at the end, you'll see. So, first, I need to put this larger edge piece in there. somehow. Okay, I think this puzzle isn't gonna spin that well, to be honest, but then again, that's just a first impression. Just from a designer standpoint, puzzles with rails in general tend to be less stable than others. Well, no, more stable but less smooth, and by far. So hopefully it won't show that much. All right, so I've got this pin in there. Perfect. This is gonna be challenging. But then again, this is what I like about it. If I bought it, it's not, you know, just to assemble it in 2 seconds and then be done with it. I wanted it to be challenging. So that's, well, after all, that's why it's a puzzle as well. Oh, it doesn't spin that well. I can't even get it to spin right there. Maybe that's because it's only partially assembled. Hopefully that's the reason. Now, how am I gonna get access to that part? Wow, this is way more challenging than I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna need to basically push these parts out of the way. This is hard. You know what? I'm gonna split it into 2 halves. Believe it or not, this is maybe slightly counterintuitive, but it should work. I'm gonna split it into this half and that half, because at the end I'm gonna have to assemble 2 halves together, otherwise it's gonna be difficult. Just like assembling the Master Pentultimate, the one with rails that MF8 produced, I think. Well, this is gonna be the same. If only it spun slightly better, it would be simpler to do. So, now I'm gonna put all the push pins on one side, and take the whole puzzle out. Oh, this is easier than I thought, so that's a good thing. Okay, never mind what I just said. It is not easier than I thought at all. Okay, slightly more challenging than expected. Alright, got it out. So, that looks more, that's easier to visualize. Now, I need to put the edge I was talking about in that slot right there where it's missing. So, in order to do so, I'm gonna move it out of the way like that. There's a pin stuck somewhere. Perfect, right there. I'm gonna move it right in here, put the gravity pin in there, and push it back in. Now, I've got this first half assembled, you see? So this is what I was aiming for at the beginning. Now, something that might not seem logical just right now, I'm gonna remove one of those large edges. That's because I need, for the final assembly, I need there to be half those edges on one side and half on the other side. I don't know if you can guess why. Oh, I can see the misalignments in there. That's what's causing this whole thing to be difficult to turn. Hopefully that won't be too much of an issue, but I think it will. Let's just try to at least... Oh, God. I don't have a lot of hope for that puzzle to be good. Let's remove this edge right there. Perfect. Whew, this assembly is more difficult than I thought. So here, I've got those 3 edges that are on one half of the puzzle. Now I'm gonna need to assemble the last half right there, like this, with a gravity pin. This set of 2 edges right there, and do the same on that side. Here, with another large edge piece. Here, push another gravity pin in there, move it back up here, and I need to put those 3 last edges, and there are no extra parts. So I thought there were some extra parts. Well, there's no extra larger edges, so it's gonna be assembled like that, which means the 3 missing ones are these 3. So I need to insert one here. Challenging. Again, the gravity pins aren't in the right position. Sorry, you can't see this because I need my gravity to help me out. Okay, here. So that's one. Then I need these two, so I'm gonna again use the gravity to do this, to put all the the gravity pins on that side. Assemble it here. Put one pin right there. Then put it back. Move this whole half upwards that direction. God, the spinning, the turning isn't helping me right now. I'm really scared that this puzzle isn't gonna be great at all. You know what? I'm gonna just insert it on that side and move it all the way here. It's so much easier. Okay, I did lose one of the pins, but that was this one right here, and there's one last pin here, and now I'm gonna need to assemble both halves, and this is where it gets challenging. Also, I just noticed something, is that if I try to assemble like that, if I try to assemble it like that, the pins are gonna fall off. So that means I probably made a small mistake in my reasoning. I think it would maybe be easier if I put all the rails on one side. So now I have a method to move them out of the way. So there's this first one, the second one, and this third one. So that was much faster than previous attempts that you've seen on this video so far. Here I just need to put one large edge in that position, one small edge in that one, and one small edge in that position right here. That's more challenging because of the lockups that I was talking about. Again, very frustrating. The assembly is very difficult, and those gravity pins really aren't helping, especially when I'm trying to film what I'm doing from above. Alright, so I'm really gonna need to learn to shake that puzzle more strongly. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to be very patient when assembling this puzzle. It's not easy. Sorry, I'm getting out of frame. So now I've assembled the first half with all those edges sticking out, and I'm gonna do this move right here. So just a small move, partial move, and I'm gonna do the opposite move on the other side, which means this move right here. If I'm not mistaken, no, the other one, the other direction. Now, let me explain why I'm doing this. Let me just... Again, turning is not that great. I'm starting to wonder how I'm even gonna align all of that when playing with the puzzle. Okay, so now everything is slightly misaligned, as you can see here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assemble it like this by pushing this part in here and doing the same thing on the opposite side, pushing this part in. So I've got here this part just latched onto the rail, this one too. So now I'm starting to move it. Now I'm reaching the second stage, so there's another rail right here. Now I need to push it and keep on turning that in that direction. Just make sure the gravity pins are still there. Alright, so now, important, do not flip the puzzle over, otherwise everything that you're doing is just messed up. So it's kind of difficult. Okay, I've got the second stage in on that side, second stage in here. I need to turn it again. Now this requires a bit of force. And a bit of jiggling as well, like this. Hopefully once it's assembled, it shouldn't be a problem anymore. But this is probably the stage that, oh god, no. Oh god, I had a gravity pin fall, so I'm gonna have to undo this and start over. Let me see if I can figure out where it came from. I'm guessing most of the people who are watching this video actually got the puzzle themselves and are trying to assemble it. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this one stays in. I actually had another gravity pin fall inside the puzzle, so this time I'm gonna do that again. Except I'm gonna... Oh, I lost one of the edges here. I need to make sure that the gravity pins stay in place. So the thing is, I was filming and the camera was on top, so I was trying to show you, but the thing is, I tipped a gravity pin over. So you need to keep this horizontal at all costs. And, okay, so now I'm latching on to the first edge here, on that side. I'm gonna do the same on the other side, right here. Okay, I latched on, so I'm not gonna show you everything because I really need this to work. And it's not easy when your gravity pins are falling out of place. So I've got the second batch of edges in. Okay, I need to carry on turning this. I'm almost there, almost there. I've got the third edge in on both sides, and I've got the puzzle fully assembled. Now that was a big challenge, and it doesn't look like the parts really fit together. I don't know if you can see this. Actually, no, it looks quite reasonable. But you can see that the parts are slightly, you know, concave there. And yeah, let's see if this turns and how it turns. Okay, so turning is locky, if I can say that. It locks up a lot, but it turns. It does turn. I'm forcing a bit because, well, I need the ball bearings to pass. I need those edges to pass. Let's see if now a second turn in the other direction works. I feel like there's an alignment issue in there, but it seems to have started to turn, so that should be all right. Oh wow. Okay, so the quality of these puzzles really isn't on par with what you would expect from a mass-produced puzzle. I gotta be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed, especially considering I bought 4 of them, but hopefully the mass-produced version will be better and I will be able to get 4 because James offered to give 4 for free, considering that I bought, you know, 4 of the prototypes. And I think that was really nice of him. So yeah, hopefully the new version will be better because this is slightly disappointing. Actually, it's very disappointing. Let's see if it jumbles, because that is something that the 24 cubes can do sometimes. It does jumble. I feel like after a few moves it might actually not work anymore. But who knows. So it does jumble, and that's pretty impressive. To be honest, I'm still amazed by the fact that James managed to mass produce a fully functional 24 cube. That is something nobody thought was possible at first. Now it spins as good as the original 24 cube, the 3D printed one, but I think that's still reasonable considering the complexity of the design. So kudos to James for mass producing this. I look forward to seeing the final version. And yeah, I hope you guys found this video interesting. Sorry if it took me a long time to assemble and to explain at times, especially towards the end, because I was having a lot of difficulty assembling it as well. I think it was kind of challenging, especially, well, filming from the top. I should have filmed from a different angle actually, because finishing it, considering you need to keep 1/2 horizontal, was kind of difficult to film, and it made me fail as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna sticker it with this and not the super stickers. So let's start, and I'm gonna speed that up a bit. So here it is, fully stickered. I'm actually glad I finally have a 24 cube that's not micro or 3D printed. And yeah, so this is, but let me see if I can get you 1 or 2 turns on that, so you can see just how good it looks when it's, well, being scrambled. Let's move it all the way up to here and stop right there so I can jumble it. Okay, you do need to apply a lot of force again to turn this puzzle. Plus you need it to be perfectly aligned, so there's that. But overall, it's still a very nice puzzle. Alright, so this is the 24 cube scrambled. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. And if you did, please feel free to subscribe and like my social networks in the description below. And I will see you in the next video.